Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you an NFL Week 5 preview between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Now let's start with the Saints in this game traveling out there to Carolina. Offensively, quiet as kept. The New Orleans Saints, their ground game is looking a lot like the 2009 Saints. A lot of people want to see the Saints run the football and say they have to get back to running the football. The Saints are averaging over 5.5 yards a carry. Two backs are averaging over 5.5 yards a carry. So the Saints are running the football, and there's a reason why Drew Brees is having a lot of success this season. And speaking of Drew Brees and that offense, as the Panthers worry about Graham, I want to see Drew Brees work the hashes with the wide receivers. Wherever you line up Graham, teams are going to focus on it. The Panthers will focus on stopping Graham this week. Operate on the hashes, work the middle with those wide receivers, and they can have a lot of success. Now, defensively, they can't lose contain against Cam Newton. That's the biggest threat. If he can get outside the pocket, which he can, you can't lose contain with those defensive ends. You have to collapse that pocket and have him have issues with that protection up front. And you have to reestablish the line of scrimmage. What Carolina is going to come in doing this ball game is try to reach the edge. You have to reestablish the line of scrimmage, stonewall these guys up front at the point of attack, and the Saints can have some success in stopping the run. And the tackling has to improve. They have to bring their arms with their shoulders. Bring your arms with your shoulders in this ball game, and you can wrap up those big bruising running backs that they have back there, and Jonathan Stewart and also D'Angelo Williams, who's notoriously killed the Saints in recent history. Now let's look at the Panthers coming into this matchup. I like the way Cam Newton is playing. He's playing outstanding, and I like his leadership skills. I like them coming out of college, and I will say I am on the record for saying so. Now, offensively speaking, off-tackle running will help these guys against the New Orleans Saints. If the Panthers come in and run off tackle, you're going to put a lot of pressure on those outside linebackers of the New Orleans Saints to step up and make plays consistently in the running game. So look for a lot of belly plays, a lot of power plays where you pull the backside guard and taking advantage and getting more guys to the point of attack on those outside linebackers. And I want to see more ace formation than usual this week. I like the two tight end set. I love the fact that you have Olsen and also Shockey. The Saints struggle with tight ends, especially two tight ends that are very skilled pass catchers. I want to see more ace formation this week out of the Carolina Panthers. And long sustained drives is the best defense against a team like the New Orleans Saints when you take the football out of Drew Brees' hands. Now, defensively, the coverage should focus on the flats. If you can cover the flats, if you're the Panthers, you could take away a lot of what Drew Brees wants to do. It's going to give that offensive line, it's going to get a defensive line of Carolina time to get to the quarterback. So you want to make sure you cover the flats and keep an eye on Graham. You don't have to game plan your whole offense for Graham, your whole defense for Graham. Keep an eye on him, cover the flats, make Drew Brees go deep down the field. And I look at the matchup between Charles Johnson lined up against Jamar Bushrod. If he can win that battle 60% of the time this game, the Panthers can have some success defensively. Now let's take a look at the Czar's X factors in this ball game. Starting with the New Orleans Saints, the X factor I'm looking for is Darren Sproles. When he has the football in his hands, he's very explosive, and as the Saints continue to get him on the move, he's becoming more and more difficult to stop in the passing game. X factor for the Carolina Panthers has to be the second and third wide receivers. The Saints struggle in coverage. They play a lot of off-man, and they give up a lot of big plays in the passing game. There are a lot of plays to be had. The Panthers' second and third wide receivers have to step up and be consistent threats throughout this matchup. This will be a close contested game, and since the game is being played in Carolina, I'm going with the Saints. The Panthers play well in the Superdome. It's one of those weird things. I think the Saints win this ball game, and they will take advantage of the linebackers in the passing game. For more NFL previews, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. And listen to the Football Game Plan radio show, which airs Saturdays 11 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.